I got to come right out of the gates and say, Kevin, soldier salute, 184. Dude, we're in for some fantastic wrestling Sunday and Monday. There's no...
Yeah. And this is the thing, Wayne. Soldier Salute's always been kind of a joke. I mean, it's really just not been a great tournament. This year, all of a sudden, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking up and down the weights, right? And I'm like, man, oh man, this tournament is better than Midlands when I'm looking up and down. What I wanted to do was do a confidence ranking. So what we're doing with that is, so you got...
This was a little tough. This was kind of tough.
Yeah. Cardenas is an animal. He's a beast of a man, but Cardenas is also, Buchanan's also huge.
The last three for me are almost tied. You could flip a coin and put them in any, and it wouldn't make much difference. Yeah. All right, Kevin, here we are again. We said,
here we are.
When's this Kevin and Wayne hook up again? I don't know. This is supposed to be a short. I got a very good hunch it's going to turn out to be not so short.
He'll be a long.
Kevin, I know you got some great subjects. I got to hit you right out of the gates. First off, before I hit you with the subject, I noticed on Flo's site, it's saying the Soldier Salute is Friday, December 29th and Saturday, December 30th. What? No.
What? It's what it says?
Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday and Monday.
Yeah,
no, it's Sunday and Monday.
Monday, so they just have it wrong there. Somebody needs some more coffee over there at Flo. No biggie. But, however, so, folks, the Soldier Salute is Sunday and Monday. Actually,
yes.
That's the same days as
the Midlands.
Yes. Now, Once again, wrestling shooting themselves in the foot. Why can't Midlands be Friday and Saturday? Soldier Salute be Sunday. It's like tournament directors. Let's communicate. That's work.
I know. It's so weird too because Sunday and Monday are weird days to have it. Usually you think like a Friday, Saturday. So it's weird that they're both doing it Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, that makes me angry. But because that's the little stuff where you're shooting yourself in the foot. We want to help the sport. We want it to, okay, I won't go into that rant. I got to come right out of the gates and say, Kevin, Soldier Salute, 184. Dude,
awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much at play here. And once again, we just talked about a typing error. Is it the typing error that Angelo Ferrari, is going attached? Because that's what he is right now. He's going attached, or at least I was reporting so.
Yeah. He's going attached because I think he has two more freebies left, two or three more.
If he goes attached after that,
if
he went unattached, he would have 3 left.
Well, you can't go unattached as the new rule is with the true freshmen getting freebies, you can't go unattached. That's the rule they make because then people would go to as many of those as they wanted, and then they would have the 5 freebies. They want a freshman to only wrestle 5 events total. Oh. So you can't go unattached anymore as a freshman.
I was thinking because second semester he could actually go unattached. Okay.
You actually you can hold on. You can, but this is the problem. You can the second semester, but what I was told is you can't go till the second semester begins. It's not one of those things where Foco and Ramirez were able to wrestle because the first semester ended. They're saying this thing is when the second semester begins, which is so weird.
When does the second semester begin?
I think first week in like January 6th or something, January 7th. It depends on the school, but I think that's when most of them start.
See, I was thinking all into this because, of course, first off, we're not even sure if Keckeisen shows. Keckeisen may be there to really make this spike.
Yeah.
But let's just suppose, let's pretend Keckeisen doesn't go, which, quite frankly, between me and you, I don't know why he wouldn't go. But we have Max McAnally, who right now he's dude. Where do you have Max ranked?
I have ranked. I think I have ranked fourth. Let me see here. I got Max ranked
like right there around fifth, fourth.
Yeah, he's fourth. He's fourth behind Starachi, Keckeisen, and Plott.
We all know this is a major freaking big player here, a major threat in McAnally. And I can't wait to see him against some of these big dogs. Then we have Gabe Arnold and we have Ferrari, which we both are speculating they'll be on opposite sides, right?
Yeah. They'll do whatever they can to do that.
Going to put them on opposite sides. We also have Bennett Berge, who is right there. I'm going to say just a very small little notch down. Even Gavin Kane. Gavin Kane is no pushover from North Carolina. However, what I'm thinking is, first off, I just learned something about the whole attached, not attached, because I was thinking, Tom, right now, all we can do is speculate. But we speculated that maybe Ferrari's actually Tom's strongest guy at 84. And that's why he brought him out for that Iowa State match. He needed his absolute best. Well, we can certainly think of 3 duels where he's going to want his absolute best out there. And that would be against Minnesota and McAnally. That would be against Oklahoma State, Plott, and, of course, Penn State and Starachi. Okay?
Yep.
So, unfortunately, he's only going to have 2 now. Because one of his 5 is going to be this soldier salute, according to what you're saying. So I automatically am proclaiming we will see Arnold against Starachi. Because if I'm Tom, I'm thinking I got a better chance of winning against Oklahoma State and Minnesota, and both of them are going to be wars.
Now, has Ferrari been out only 1 time or 2 times?
2. He's got
what was this?
He told us that in the interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's got 3 left now. And then Terry mentioned me and Terry were thinking the same, in the sense that we thought he could go unattached at the soldier salute and not even have that count as one of the 5. But
I mean, I don't know. The thing is like, what I know is what someone told me, but I don't know that to be definite 100%. I mean, it could be where it's middle, but I was told by someone that's usually pretty reliable that it was after the first semester began, but that kind of leaves I swear that Stanich wrestled unattached last year at Midlands or something weird. And it was like the same kind of scenario. And I remember arguing with this guy forever about it. And it was second semester. So I don't understand. I don't know. And I can't seem to find a definite answer on that. That's why I asked this person, and they were like, it's when the second semester starts. I was like, well, the second semester doesn't start on the same date for every school. Yep. So how do you decipher that? You know, I mean, but you're saying he's attached anyway, right? He's attached anyway.
Unless it's a typo error. Right now, we don't have the little asterisk right there by his name as unattached. So it's showing him as entered and attached. And, you know, it's funny to say whether Keckeisen shows up, that's going to affect where they're at in the brackets. Like, my next thing is, okay, who is Arnold going to have in the semis? Or who's Ferrari going to have in the semis? I mean, any one of these matchups are intriguing. But I think, I'd rather have Berge than I would McAnally. But us actually seeing a lot of speculation that if both of them make the finals, which, let me just say, if Keckeisen is there, that's not going to happen. But let's say Keckeisen doesn't show and they both make the finals, we would never see that match. A lot of speculation that Tom wouldn't have them wrestle. Why? I sound like.
Well, here's the thing.
Why?
You just got Tanya Hardin.
I know. And the thing is like, why not?
Here's the only thing I can think of. All right. If you know that Ferrari's going to redshirt, right?
Yeah.
then what they would do is have Ferrari forfeit the match. It wouldn't be a no contest. And the reason they would do that is so a loss doesn't count on Arnold's record. That's what I think.
Okay. How about now? This is just a very small little chance, but you have to give it to me that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
What if Ferrari is saying, Coach, I'm ready. I want to wrestle this year. And that's why he's attached. And at this point, Tom, if I say no to the kid, he might get mad and leave. I don't know what to do. I can't lose Arnold, can't lose Ferrari. Really, I thought he had the same thing down at 74, and he kind of does, but it doesn't look like Kennedy or Nelson are going anywhere. So he doesn't really have that worry there. He kind of has this worry here, although everything you hear from Arnold, he's like Kennedy 2.0 as far as his loyalty and devotion and love for Iowa. And you could say Arnold's not going nowhere, Wayne. And enough with your silliness over there. However, you get a kid of that caliber, that big of a stud, have to sit. Now, I know it's just a small percentage, but that's let me put myself in Angelo's shoes. I feel like I'm ready to win a national title this year. So I want to go. And he's got a right to have his own opinion. And if he does have that opinion, we got some drama, boys.
Yeah, here's the thing. I was thinking about this earlier today. It's funny that you bring it up. And okay, you got Kennedy and you got Brands, right? Down at 74, right? Yeah. Kennedy has a year left. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what I think ultimately is going to happen is next year, Ferrari's going to be at 84 and Arnold's going to be at 74 and Brands is going to be SOL again, or not Brands. Kennedy will be SOL again, unless they can get Ferrari up to 97 and Brands at 80, and then Arnold at 84 and Kennedy at 74. It seems like 97 is like generally not as tough as a weight class as 84 year in and year out. But I don't know this. I think Ferrari is a badass. I think Ferrari can win at any weight, just to get that out. But another part of me goes, if you want two things. If you say that Arnold's loyal, right?
Yeah.
How much is that going to be though? Last year he was loyal in what he did last year. He took the red shirt. He went up, he went up a weight. Now they're asking him to go up a weight, right? His sophomore year. But now if they were to put Ferrari in there and it wrestle off, all of a sudden Arnold's like, well, why can't I go down to 74? It's just that we don't know what happens in the room at 74. Does Arnold beat Brands? Does Arnold beat Kennedy? Because you would think his best lineup would be Arnold at 74 right now and Ferrari at 84 right now, right?
Well, you know what a lot of people say. Look at Wayne over there being an instigator. He's trying to get the Iowa fans all flared up over here. They don't have that happening. Ferrari's going to red shirt, and don't listen to this clown over here. This has all already been worked out. Yes, but someone try to make sense on why he's not going unattached. Of course, maybe what you're saying, Kevin, it's not such a big deal. He's got to take it as one of his dates anyway, and that settles that. So
yeah,
we're in for some fantastic wrestling Sunday and Monday. There's no
and this is the thing, Wayne. Soldier Salute's always been kind of a joke. I mean, it's really just not been a great tournament this year. All of a sudden, I'm looking at it. And I'm looking up and down the weights, right? And I'm like, man, oh man, there's potential. I mean, you got Flynn, Volk, Jordan at 25. You got Ayala and Wells and Oakley at 33. You got Vumbar and Happel. Vumbar's undefeated. At Marco and McNeil. Teamer and Downey again. Or Teamer and Downey.
Yep.
Caliendo and Sparks. It's not, but Drake Rhodes is having a great year. He's there. Devos and Stimon West. 84 is loaded. 97, Buchanan and Salazar. That's tough.
Every single match you just said, I can't wait for. So even quite frankly, just for the curiosity aspect of seeing Keeter up against Stevenson.
And it's better than the Midlands. It's better than the Midlands, actually. This tournament is better than Midlands when I'm looking up and down.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that team like Northern Iowa, especially, they don't always send their studs to this tournament. I hope they do send, Downey and Real Buto and Happel and Keckeisen. I hope they send those because that will make the tournament a lot better.
Please. Somebody out there. It's wrestling season. That means you take and you go wrestle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Keckeisen, why would you sit out? Here is what you've worked all these years to become an expert at. Well, this is the stage is set. It's time to perform. So I don't get any of that. I don't get any of it. And I often said, till the day the people will get sick of me going on about how that nationals need seated differently because it's working against the sports good. And we're shooting ourselves in the foot. And I won't go into that whole rant again. But quite frankly, yes, I know it's the most accurate way to seed is to include both the wins and the losses by each wrestler. I know that is the most accurate way. Would the seeding really be that jacked up if all we did was include wins? Because can you imagine what happens?
I'll tell you what, Wayne. I usually hate takes like the take you just have. I usually hate them. I hate change. But I'm telling you, it's the most brilliant thing you've come up with. And it would promote wrestling. And you know what? You're still beating guys to get these points. It's not like you're going out and not doing anything. You're taking losses away, but you're having to beat guys to get these points. So you're having to wrestle more. And you don't want to sit out a duel. He's under the weather.
Over and over and over, get rewarded. They will get rewarded. And I won't go any further into that because I know we got I'm going to hand it over to you. Any direction you want to go, I'm ready. Okay.
Hey, I know I talked to you earlier, but what I wanted to do was do a confidence ranking. So what we're doing with that is, you got.
This was a little tough. This was kind of tough.
Yeah. I was regretting saying it.
You're going to be surprised.
I was like, because then here's the thing with this thing. You got to have some confidence in every weight class who's going to win it. So that alone is tough. All right. So you're like, because you're picking a winner in every weight, really, when you're doing this.
How do you want to do this? You want to go through your entire top, your 10 completely? Is that the best way we do this? Then we go through my 10 or do we alternate?
Or do we alternate? Well, we're going to have on the screen anything that we do here. We're going to have it on. So I think, what you want to go down, or I guess we could probably just one person at a time go down the list and kind of give a little explanation of why you have, starting with
who are you most confident over?
I am most confident in Mitchell Messenbrink. I think.
We both have the same name. And everybody in the world, can you hear it, Kevin? They're all laughing at us right now. But I can think why, and I bet you can too. Go ahead with your number 2.
Okay, so then looking at my number 2, I'm going with Gable Stevenson for number 2.
But why?
He's the most.
Why did you choose that way?
Because I'm looking at shock value. I would be most shocked if someone at the end of the tournament said Mitchell Messenbrink didn't win. Then my second most shocked I would think would be if someone said Gable did not win. And you know what? I would think more of it. But when I saw him wrestle Gadiali, I was like, man, what he did to him. And he's heavier now. Okay. Now listen, I'm not personally a big Gable fan. All right. But he weighs 277 now, whereas he used to weigh like 250, 255. So he's put on a lot of weight. He seems to be just as quick, and I just don't see anybody beating him. I just don't see it. So I looking it through, I thought, you know what? He's got to be my number 2. I think he's, I just don't see him getting beat.
Well, and same here, but why the reason you had Messenbrink above Gable?
Oh, because Kirkfleet and Hendrickson, I think, are a lot better than the 2s and 3s at 65.
And that's pretty much my answer, in the sense that Hendrickson, I've seen go jump levels. Now, I don't know exactly how much, but all I know is it's very close between the two. And, between Kirkleviet and Hendrickson, and heck, for all we know, Bastida. And if the game plan is attack, and, a lot of times you let Gable dictate the match, and you are a dead duck. And I don't know. That's going to be near impossible anyway. But somehow I like a game plan. I could feel like I could find a game plan to beat Gable faster than I could Messenbrink, with who won 65 this year. And that's why I had it that way also. Who do you got 3?
Okay, so at 3, one second.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you both my 3 and 4, because they're very close too. And one might surprise you. But I have Strachey at 3. And I have Shapiro at 4. I have Shapiro at 4. And to me, both of them are a tick better than anyone else. Now, Shapiro, I have that worry about the head. Will he take another hit? And because once you have the concussion, they can happen again. I understand all that. But right now, the last time out, what we've seen is someone that's good to go, healthy, and everything that we thought we were going to see from the get-go. And I tell you, that's why I have Shapiro so high. As far as Strachey, it's still Keckeisen. I know that Strachey never looked in serious danger of losing that, and it took an overtime win to beat Keckeisen in the All-Star Classic. I understand that. I just don't see how, Kevin, as I'm sitting here, it's crawling right now towards me.
What's that? What?
Freaking stink bug.
Oh, have I got a story for you?
You're dead, pal. You don't want to. You don't want to
listen.
I can't.
Listen, I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you something that's going to gross you out and the audience out forever. And this is a true story. I can't believe I'm telling it. So I was in bed, right? This was a few years ago, in bed, and all of a sudden I'm having a dream, right? And I smell this horrific smell, and all of a sudden I go like this. Ah! Oh! It was on the ceiling. It fell asleep and fell in my mouth. I was chewing on a stink bug.
Okay.
I go, My wife's like, "What's wrong?" I go, "Ah." I'm sitting there. I'm just going. It gives me chills. It's so disgusting. I had a stink bug in my mouth. It fell asleep. And imagine him. He's sleeping. All of a sudden he's in a mouth. And I'm just like, oh.
Do you know if he peed in the mouth? Did he pee?
He could have taken a dump, as far as I know. How would I know? Everything was bad. It was bad. He could have dumped, pee, anything. I just was like, so ever since then, man, I'll be like looking at the ceiling, making sure there's those guys. They fall asleep, and sometimes they just fall. And the chances of that right in my mouth, right? Folks, unbelievable. But anyway,
Kevin, you're 3.
Okay. So who I have at number 3, here it is finally. There we go. It's awesome. Got it. Okay, so 3, I do have Carter. I have Carter at number 3. And that was tough because I know Keckeisen, but to me, I don't know if I've ever seen an overtime match as much as that one where I felt like he was never in danger of losing.
Same here.
You know what I mean?
Same here.
Yeah, Keckeisen got in on a good shot, but he shut that right down. And I thought that was as dominant as an overtime win as you could have. I don't think nowhere was he ever in trouble. So that's kind of what I felt like with that. And number 4, I have Stephen Buchanan. And here's why. I've seen Buchanan and Cardenas. Okay. I saw them last year wrestle for 3rd and 4th. Mm-hmm. I know that Cardenas seems to have jumped levels, mm-hmm. but when I watch him, I feel that he's jumped levels in the fact that he's beating the piss out of the people he should beat. where normally last year he would win like 5-2, 5-1. Now he's really hammering them. That's the big difference. But I think that Buchanan is such a bad matchup for him because Cardenas is an animal. He's a beast of a man, but Buchanan's also huge. And he really dominated that match for third place last year. Like there was never a question that Cardenas was going to win that match. And I really think that Buchanan, he's got one win this year that wasn't a bonus, and that was against Munoz. I just think Buchanan it's all Buchanan. So that's what I got for 3 and 4. So you want to do your 5 and 6?
My 5 and 6 is, first off, that these next two, again, very, very close. And I put Crookham at 5 because I don't anticipate a ref doing what I think needs done. Make the boy wrestle, make the man wrestle. And he's so crafty at what he does. First off, let's admit, we're talking about a very good wrestler here.
Yep.
Now it fits everything. It's his game plan. He's actually able to dictate every match he's wrestling because refs allow him to. Now, I don't anticipate any refs stepping up and doing what I wish they would do. Not only to Crookham, to every wrestler. And, make them wrestle. But I don't anticipate that. So because of that, I have a good bit of confidence in, I don't think Bird can solve that puzzle. And I don't think, if anybody, maybe Ayala would make finals. But I don't see Ayala solving that puzzle. Maybe someone like a Tyler Knox might be, maybe, but, Romney obviously is on the up and all that stuff. But anyway, I got Crookham there. I got Buchanan 6. And again, that one's the only reason is because I don't think AJ looks. First off, I'm going to just say it. Why are you not at the CKLV? You're wrestling a couple days later. Now, I was dinged up. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that had a stench about it. You're off because all these studs, and next thing you're wrestling D2, D3 guys over here. Please. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And
I agree.
by the way, I didn't think he looked all that smooth. Now, or his speed didn't blow me away or anything. Now, he's still AJ Ferrari. So I could be way off on these. They could never be champions. And, even if Buchanan say he's the man, not Cardenas, you still have AJ there. And maybe, I don't know. But I will state right up that any wrestler that is skipping something and then a couple days later, I'm healed up. Yeah, I'm going to whine about that a bit.
Yeah.
You guys have to deal with that. I'm going to whine about it. But go ahead.
No, yeah, just to kind of piggyback off yours real quick. Crookham, you have to be an exceptional, explosive, offensive athlete to take him down. The only one that took him down last year was Vito. And you want to know how he took him down? He got him up in the air. You have to get him up in the air. You cannot think that you're going to be able to get past the rubber knee and get past his ability to scramble. And he's just so flexible. And you're right. He has the art of, he steps to the side, takes a step back, steps to the side, takes a step back. And that's why Vito did that. Come here, come here. And I wish refs would pick up on it and talk to each other. You're right. Cause come on, why is somebody chasing you? And then it's like a rope and dope. Then all of a sudden he goes underneath them because they get frustrated and they start being stupid. It's so frustrating.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So I hear you there. So I actually have, for my 5 and 6, I have Crookham at 5. So it's funny because I had Buchanan at 4, Crookham at 5. You had Crookham at 4, Buchanan at 5, right?
I had Crookham at 5 and Buchanan at 6. I had Shapiro at 4.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, I have Shapiro at 6. So we're very close.
That's amazing how close we are here.
Yeah. So it's Shapiro. Now, a lot of this just came on. Now, if you would have asked me before the Ed Scott match, I don't think I'd even have him this high. But what I saw in that Ed Scott match it gets me giddy because his misdirection, he played with him like a cat playing with a yarn ball. He was riding him so tough. And when Shapiro rides someone like that, he can ride anybody in the country like that. You know, I mean, Ed Scott's a 2-time All-American, and he rode him for 4.5 minutes to the point where they stopped the match. They stopped it. They stalled him out.
Dude, some of that misdirection was art.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so slick. He just boom, boom. And the guy's flat on his face. He did it to Brock Mueller last year. And I watched it live. I was there, and the whole crowd just went, ooh, ah, like,
yeah.
He looked great. He didn't look like there was any any issues being confused and stuff. It was some good time off. I pray that he's okay up here, but I do like him healthy versus Teamer healthy. I like Shapiro. I think he's got too much offense for Teamer. Like I said, Crookham, just because I think that you're right. Who's going to challenge Crookham? And it's not going to be a Bird because he doesn't have enough offense. I think maybe the best challenge would be maybe a Romney or maybe a Knox, like you said, because Knox has the best 2 wins at 133. He's beaten Ayala and he's beaten Romney, and that's their only loss this year is to Knox.
Yep.
So people like that create offense, I really always feel is a threat. So, but yeah, I agree with you there. So we're real close.
Now, I'm going to actually finish out my list because the last 3 for me are almost tied. You could flip a coin and put them in any, and it wouldn't make much difference. I got Ramus at 7 because right now he showed the only guy among the elite group that is that little bit above, and that was at the CKLV. That was just impressive. And I'm going to say it, even with Spratley, that wasn't that close, that match. And in my opinion, I mean, I thought Raymond, so he obviously fits in at 7. Now, 8, 9, 10 for me goes Haynes, Van Ness, Mendez. But all of them could very easily not be champs. So there's very little or next when in confidence, which this list is. It's a reason they're down at 8, 9, 10. Haynes, Van Ness, Mendez. All 3 of them weights are going to just be fire. And I can't wait. And it's one of the reasons I think this year is going to be one of the most exciting years we've ever had. Maybe not in team race, but individual weights. This is just nuts.
No, I agree with you. It's definitely because a lot of years I feel like we know almost who's going to win each weight, and it doesn't leave a lot of mystery to it. But this year I feel like there is a lot of mystery to that. So who would you have again? You had Ramos and then who?
Haynes, then Van Ness, and then Mendez. And
okay,
with Mendez, I would have had him a little higher. But I tell you the honest truth, I'm not sold that he automatically beats Bartlett, A. And B, Alirez, what's going on with Alirez? Did he even wrestle this year yet? Because
he only has a few matches. I think he's only got, he's 3-0. That's it.
Man.
And he doesn't really wrestle. He doesn't really wrestle anybody. His hardest competition will be Jameson in the dual meet and at Big 12s.
Yeah.
And maybe and Echemendia. Echemendia will go down. He'll have him at Big 12s as well.
Okay.
Okay. Which don't count him out. I know.
I know. Yeah. If he could game plan right and just wrestle from his feet the entire time.
And you never wrestle on the mat. Ever wrestle on the mat.
But yeah.
Get away.
Yeah. And Haynes, I'm giving him the nod over O'Toole because I went into that our last podcast. I just think that was the match you wanted to lose because I can see that just being a Carr O'Toole thing back and forth. They're so close. Van Ness, he's just looked fantastic, but so has Henson. And you can't rule out Lovett, although Lovett seems to now have run into a hurdle that he at some point we have to proclaim he can't clear in Caleb Henson. And so the Van Ness, whether it's Van Ness or Henson's, that dude's a mean dog.
He's a big dude too. He's tough, man. My list is eerily similar to yours, except for the champs, really. So I have 7, just like you. I have Ramos. Okay. I think he looks great, and something sticks into my mind with him. Spencer Lee was over there. They were wrestling in the Olympic Training Center. They were both there. And word is that Spencer Lee went up to him and gave him a talking to, like, dude, you need to start letting it fly because you beat me and you're going out there and not getting on the podium. Like, what are you doing? You're wrestling scared. He started like giving him like, go get him. And word is that at that practice, those practices, Ramos was going like getting good with everybody, like he was opening up. And what have we seen this year? 15-0, and nobody's touched him. Nobody's even come close to him.
Yeah,
so that might be
levels. He that talk a level up, didn't he?
I think that talk Spencer gave him was probably the biggest favor anybody could have given anyone because, think about it from Spencer. Spencer's like, you're going to pin me, and then what? You're going to not AA the next 2 years?
Dude,
like
that's just about the power of your head. Someone flicks that switch in your head. Here it was in you all along. But someone said the right words and flicked that switch, especially, wow, that's fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's just, maybe there's nothing to it, but it sticks in my head and I see the result because I was really curious. I'm like, I wonder how Ramos is going to do this year before the year started. I see this and I keep going back to that talk Spencer Lee had with him. And I'm like, that had to have had some effect upstairs. Yeah. It had to have. Yeah. So then after that, I got Jesse Mendez. That was a tough one because I feel that Mendez has the best chance of beating Aliris. I don't know if I can pick Bartlett against Aliris. Maybe it's because of the match I have stuck in my head of them a couple of years ago, and it was a couple of years ago. Yeah. I feel like Bartlett can beat Mendez, but I don't know if Bartlett can beat Aliris. But I just feel like as much as I don't really like Mendez that much, I just feel like he does have that killer instinct in him where I think when push comes to shove, I think he can get it done. Then next I have Keegan O'Toole, and then I have Caleb Henson. So you got the Penn State boys I'm against. Now, this was tough for me. This was so tough, and I'll tell you what. I actually had a harder time picking. I had a harder time going with Caleb Henson than I did Keegan O'Toole, and here's why. I watched that match with Keegan and Haynes, right? Mm-hmm. And the one thing that blows my mind is the fact that Haynes goes up 2 weight classes, and he's still the strongest guy in the weight class. Like that's crazy to me. He went up 2 weight classes, and he's still, like when people are talking to Hamidi, I'm going to myself, Haynes is just going to overpower Hamidi. I'm sorry. I just feel like Hamidi will not be able to take Haynes down. There's no way. I just don't see it. When I looked at the match between the two, I saw it where O'Toole, I just give the edge to his scrambling enough where I think he can pull it out. I'm not sure if Levi is going to be able to take him down. I don't see it where it's either guy are going to have a whole lot of room to improve on. I don't think it's going to come down to the coaches. I don't think they're going to strategize better. They're just so high level. I think it's going to be another overtime match. I think it's going to end up in a scramble, and I give Keegan the nod on that, but I'm not going to be surprised if Haynes wins it. But it is a 2-horse race, I think. It's not a 3-horse race. I think it's a 2 in that one. Caleb Henson and Van Ness. The only reason I went with Henson is because he got it. He's done it already. That's it. That literally is my answer. The way he looked against Gomez in that NCAA final, he had ice in his veins. He wrestled his best in the NCAA final, and I put a lot into that. Yeah. Van Ness is scary good, and I think he's a tough matchup for Caleb as far as their styles. but I think that is a 3-horse race at 41. I would put Ridge Lovett in there still.
Van Ness beat Caleb before, right? You don't by chance?
I think I got WrestleStat open.
You have WrestleStat open? I could have swore Van Ness beat Caleb Henson. Why am I thinking?
Did he? Was it Lovett or maybe he did? Let me see. He did lose to Van Ness 5-3 at NCAA's.
That's right.
However,
what the world?
That's impressive that you knew that. That's impressive that you knew that.
Hanging on top of his shoulders because.
No, that's impressive. Well, anyone that says you don't have a memory. Now,
no.
I think both these guys are just completely different than what they were. I won't even say, well, Henson's a lot better because Van Ness is a hell of a lot better too.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be real hard for Ridge Lovett to beat both of them. And I think that's what he would have to do. I think he's going to be at a seed where he's 2 or 3. He's going to have to beat both Henson and Van Ness. And I really makes me say it's a 2-horse race, really. Because I don't see Lovett winning those 2 matches. Do you?
Well, let's put it this way. We can think of some just remarkable wrestlers, dynamic, explosive, incredible wrestlers that never won it in their life. And that's quite a list. I understand. But something tells me 2 that are going to end up added to that is both Lovett and Hamidi. Incredible, dynamic, fun to watch wrestlers that never won it. I could be wrong, but at this point, I don't know how they.
No, I agree with you. I think Lovett, is kind of a head case too. Like when he was wrestling Yanni in the NCAA finals, everyone's like, this is going to be such a tight match. And he wrestled a good tournament up until then, but Yanni just picked him apart. He took him down like 5 times. Yeah. It wasn't even close. And then last year, he loses to Henson 1-0 because he picks bottom. I'm not saying that's why he lost, he picks top in the 3rd period, and then he does the semi-slide to 6th place. So I don't have all the confidence in the world with him in the NCAA tournament. He hasn't done his best at that tournament.
Yeah.
You're right though. Hamidi, there's a lot of. I mean, look at Dayton Fix, world silver medalist, never won an NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, the list is incredible when you get it out.
Yeah.
The guys that never won that are just, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But,
why it's such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
I did want to talk to you about something real quick, if that's cool. I was wondering, second here, how weird it is that, okay, so Bailey, right? He chose neutral in the 3rd period against Bird at the All-Star Classic, right? He's down 1-0. He chose neutral. He lost 1-0. Davis, he does the same thing. He chooses neutral in the 3rd period. He loses 1-0. Last year, Vito Araujo, same thing. Only he chooses neutral. He was down 4-0. He chooses neutral. And you would think he would choose an escape to make it 4-1 and then go for a takedown 4-4. He chooses neutral. Vito wins 4-0. What is going on with this guy in the bottom position? Is there something wrong with him, or is it mental? Or, I mean.
Well, here's the question, Kev. The question is, what is wrong with the coach? Or why is this wrestler ignoring his coach? Because obviously, the coach isn't making that decision, right?
Only if there's something wrong with him that they know. Like there's something where like he has some kind of issue with an old injury or something that has him trouble getting up, or maybe he just sucks at bottom really bad. But usually if a guy's good at top, he's good at bottom too, you know?
I agree. And I tell you the honest truth, we don't know all of the little things that could be happening in the background. And, that's the thing with us fans. We'll get some stuff wrong because we're just out here speculating. Now, you go on these forums and these boards and you'll read you guys need to stop speculating. No, that's part of the fun. That's what we do. We're sitting in the background. We can't wait for the next match. So what we do is we speculate. We're there talking. A lot of the stuff we're saying is complete garbage, maybe. Completely don't even understand the whole situation. I understand that. But we're not, you're not ever going to hear me personally putting someone down. But I may screw up and not know all the details and then be out to lunch when I'm trying to stay. But I got to say this, Kevin, we're at 45 minutes, but your screen really got bad. Like I can't even.
Oh, really?
You. So.
Okay.
And we have an up and down thing and that we want to do stuff. We'll just have to come back and do.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can do another one tomorrow. Preferably not quite as long. We get closer to actually being shorts, but I liked what we covered here, and it was fun. I can't wait, dude. Sunday it starts. I'll be in touch.
Rock and roll,
folks out there. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
In touch, and we'll be back with some other Kevin and Wayne. I guess we're calling it Wayne's Worlds. I don't know.
Yeah, Wayne's World.
You're part of it.
Wayne's World with Cornell Kev. That's good to go.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, we'll keep these a little bit shorter on one topic, but we'll do more of them. We'll get some more out, right?
Sounds good.
That sound good?
Sounds
all right. Thank you very much, Wayne. Thanks everybody for watching.
Have a great weekend.